Hey, it's Chris Gately Properties, your friend in the real estate business, and you're probably going to go see homes this weekend, right? So wouldn't it be good to know what you're doing when you're ready to make an offer? I'm going to show you a few tips to make an offer like a boss. Let's face it, you've been searching for a house for a little while, you find the right house, and you're ready to make an offer, and you hope you get it. No, that's not what you want, right? You want to try to land that offer the first time. So I'm going to show you a few tricks to get your offer accepted the first time. And it does require a little legwork. So stick with me for a second, okay? First, you need to know your limits. This is your wants and needs. You're going to work with your agent to help you find the right house possible. Then you're going to go see the home. You're going to want to know what the HOA is on the home you're looking at, what the HOA permits, if it's a good dog-friendly neighborhood. Is there certain things that make it a no-go? So work with your agent. This can be beneficial. They're going to help you find the right house the first time, and then it comes down to the offer. So number 2, learn to speak contract. Essentially, an offer is a contract. In the state of California, oral contracts really aren't enforceable. So you're going to use a written contract when you make an offer on a home. And the documents and wording vary across the country. In California, a lot of agents here use the residential purchase agreement. So do yourself a favor, ask your real estate agent for a copy of the real estate purchase agreement ahead of time before you make an offer, so you can take a look over it and have an understanding of what the E's and the Or's and the earnest money deposits and the timelines and time frames and contingencies are before you actually fill anything out. And if you still have questions about it, take that to a residential real estate attorney so they can help explain the document so that you're familiar with the vocabulary before you pull the trigger on it with your agent, and that way you look like a boss. Number 3, you're going to set your price. One of the requirements of an offer or a contract is to have a price, right? So homes always have a list price, but it doesn't mean that that's necessarily what it's going to sell for. Think of it as the seller's opening bid in your negotiation. As a buyer, your offer will include an offer price. This is the first thing that home sellers look at. I know. They want to know what they're going to net. So your agent will help you come up with those numbers by running what they call comparable market analysis, or comparables, comps. And it involves looking at what other homes in the market have sold for, and especially if they're similar. Even better if they're tract homes, because a lot of times the tract home is exactly the same as other ones, so there's what's called a model match. These factors, along with a few others, will impact your bargaining position on your offer. So if you can set the right price the first time, you can offer like a boss and get this offer accepted. Number 4, you're going to figure out what you're going to put down on this house. What you put down will affect what your payment is. It also affects what kind of loan you get. Typically, conventional loans are about 20%. They can be less. FHA tends to be 3.5% down. And then there's even VA, which can be 0% down. USDA loans are 0% down. So work with your agent, work with your mortgage lender to figure out what your down payment should be. And then you're going to know what your payment you're looking at is, so that when you're making your offer price, you look like a boss. One of the things in your offer is going to be what's called the earnest money deposit, the EMD for short. And it's the sum of the money that you're putting down into escrow to show show the seller that you're serious. It also allows you to go and do your inspections on the property, right? So typical EMD is about 1 to 3% of the offer price. So imagine a home for $200,000. It's going to be between $2,000 to $6,000 that you're going to have to write a check and put into escrow for those earnest money deposits. Now, the earnest money deposit in the California Association of Realtors contract can also be used as part of the liquidated damages clause. So, if you decide to back out of your contract and you haven't eliminated any of your contingencies, we're going to talk about contingencies in a second about boss offers, the seller might be able to withhold the earnest money deposit as basically for you breaking your contract. So let's go on to number 6, which is review the contingency plan. Offers include contingencies. Now these can be inspection contingency. So you're going to go and you're going to look at the property. You can have a property inspector come out. Maybe you'll do a soils analysis. Maybe you do a radon or mold check. You're going to do what's called a natural hazard inspection. Maybe you do a termite inspection. So there's many different inspections you can do. There's also financing contingencies, appraisal contingencies, clear title contingencies. Maybe the seller has a contingency that they have to sell, they have to find a home before they can go buy one. Maybe you have to sell your home before you can buy theirs. So these are all the contingencies, right? Remember I was just talking about that with the earnest money deposit? These are the contingencies that you have the right to rescind your contract or exit the contract and be able to take your earnest money deposit back. If you remove those contingencies and then break the contract, now the seller might be able to use your earnest money deposit as part of the liquidated damages, right? So review your contingency plan. You're gonna want to know when you want to walk away from the deal. If there's something that pops up that you don't think would be working for you, leave that deal immediately. Do yourself a favor, do the seller a favor, don't drag it out. When you're doing your due diligence though, so remember I was just talking about all the contingencies, read the fine print. You're gonna want to know certain things about utilities, how the heating works. These are things that the seller should be able to disclose to you, but it's also another place of negotiation, especially if you find strange things. So this was like the idea of something gets called out on your inspection, right? Ask the seller for more clarification because you want to know what you're buying. So that way you can offer like a boss. But remember, all of this has time frames. So you say in your contract how long you want to be in escrow so that you can do your inspections, so you can do your contingencies. A seller ideally doesn't want you to have any contingencies because they want a clean offer. You as the buyer are going to want the max, right? So this is part of your negotiation. This is how you offer like a boss. Know ahead of time what time it's going to take for you to figure out if this home is right for you. How long is it going to take to do your due diligence? How long is it going to take to do your inspections? How quickly can the appraiser get out there? These are many things that you need to know so you can offer like a boss. I know we're going in that we're going to try to win this deal the first time, but brace yourself for a counteroffer. It does happen. When the seller gets your offer, there's only a few things that can happen. They can say yes, they can say no, or they can counter. And once again, this is where some of your strategies that you've learned here will apply to helping you counteroffer like a boss. So that's it for today. I hope you've taken a lot away. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, direct message us. Thank you again. If you like this, click the thumbs up, like us, subscribe to us, share us. We love anyone who wants to come to us, and we're willing to help you however we can. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful weekend, and don't forget to make an offer like a boss.